वो एक्सपेक्टेशन गलत क्यों है? सबको ये बात पता है कि यार मुझे ना फैंग में जॉब चाहिए, या मुझे गूगल मतलब ये फैंग कंपनीज हो गई, या मुझे बस करोड़ों का पैकेज चाहिए और उसके लिए मुझे कोडिंग ही करनी पड़ेगी, और हमने कभी कुछ जाना ही नहीं. आई गेस वी आर लाइव, राइट?
Yeah, sir. Let me see. Let me check
Okay.
once.
Yes, we are. I can see the live timer going on. Awesome.
Yeah, so sir, can we wait? I think guys are joining.
Anytime, no problem. We are here anyways.
So I think so we can begin. It will be recorded, so no problem. Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a great day. And if not, then we are here to make it an awesome one. Myself, Akash Kumar, internship coordinator from NIT Agartala. And let's welcome you to this super exciting webinar about open source. Today with us, we have our Gourav Sharma, a tech speaker who is an associate solution architect at RedHat. He loves to influence people, and he has his YouTube channel named Guess with Gaurav. He has a broad technical and training experience in Linux and open source technology. I, with myself and the whole NIT Agartala family, welcomes him to this webinar. Over to you, sir.
Hey, thank you so much, Akash. Means that was indeed a lot of things that you have said. I don't know whether I deserve it or not. But having said that, yes, I am. I don't consider myself a tech speaker yet, though I have spent around like 4 years and 4+ years in industry, and it's being around like 8 years where I am. And the most important part that everybody see around this open source, the best part about myself, I am a community person. I always say that I am a community person, and I love to be that. And to be happy, I guess happiness is not something which is ready made. It comes with your own actions. And the best part about communities, they accept you the way you are. Right. So yes,
Yeah, yeah.
by profession, yes, I work for Red Hat as a solution architect. But moreover, I love to talk to people like you who are enthusiastic about open source, learning open source, who are keen that yeah, something is there that we can explore, we can get started. So I'm here. Please post your questions. And once again, thank you so much, Akash and his entire team, for giving me this opportunity on the Saturday evening, though, to share my views that how open source can change your life, or what open source means to you and how it is. So, yes, Akash,
It's
how I can.
Yeah, sir. It's our pleasure to have you. So, sir, our first question is like, what is open source and why one should go for it? So, we will start from basic.
Right. So, also, let me be very precise. We are not going to do the typical presentation. I don't love to do the presentations oftenly. Reason being, if you take this monologue, people always consider yourself that you are doing a presentation, the monologue flow will go on. So don't be on that. Please feel free to drop your questions, and we'll be happy to answer them up. I don't know how many of you are live listening to us, but please post us. Now, before I tell my definition of open source, Akash, according to you, what do you think what open source means to you, or to the world, or to a person who is stepping into the engineering college? What is this open source according to you?
Okay, so I think it's a publicly somewhere written source code where anyone can join it, and he can improve it and can modify, and can even he can tell that there is some error, you can fix it. by this way and that way. So I think this is the definition according to me.
So look, what you said is the what I should say, typically most incorrect definition that we all had.
Yeah.
You pay close attention to what the thing we asked. Did we related it to the tech world? Did we ask that
No.
source code or something? No. We just asked what is the definition of open source? What is open source? And we start accumulating open source to the code. No.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
if somebody asks you what is open source, you can say something which is freely available, which can be customized and can be used by paying or free of cost. Depends on you. Now, you being as a CS graduate, I can understand your feelings because I have also been at that stage. So, definitely, when you break down this two word, open, which is available for everyone, source, whose source code is available to you. If we have joined these two keywords, open and source, that means everybody has the freedom to modify the code, to use the code in the way they want to. And now when they have a compiled program with them, now if they want to like make it a commercial version of it, or if they want to leave it like the way they want to use it, or like let's make it free, it totally depends on individual, right? So if you ask me, I was just having a water, and I guess everybody of you must have drink water someday in your life. Sir, every single day we drink water. So, water is a perfect example of open source. How many of you can deny that you don't know the formula of open water? H2O? Everybody knows it. Everybody has the source code. Now, you tell me in every single day, how many different variants of water you drink? You have your tea, you have your coffee, you can have a lemonade, you are drinking cold drinks, you are drinking some of the other juices, you might be having like a cold water, might be consuming it in a form of ice cubes. Everybody uses in one way or the other, right? H2O, which is the universal formula of water, does anybody has that restriction that this water belongs to this country, this water belongs to this religion, this what I should say, this water belongs to this particular community of people? Absolutely no. Water is freely available, and that's what open source is. If some software which somebody has given it to free of cost to anyone, you just use it, you modify it as per your understanding. And from there also, now somebody will ask me, sir, if water is free, then why Bisleri and Aquafina people like they charge us? That's the thing. When it comes to open source, this word free, it is not that free which means no cost. It is free which equates to freedom, that you have a freedom to modify the code and use it as per your need. If you want to charge it, nobody is stopping you. If you don't want to charge it, it's up to you. Nobody is going to hard claim you, or nobody is going to put a case on you that Akash, how you dare to modify the water and use it for your sense. No, everybody has their own understanding. Everybody can use it, modify it as per their understanding, as per their feasibility, as per their compatibility. So something which is freely available, something which gives you the freedom to modify it, enhance it, and we as a open source people, you can say it is our moral responsibility that we should give back to the community again. So I hope this open source culture is pretty much clear to everyone.
Yeah, sir, it was really nice and descriptive. So I think it is clear to all our viewers. And sir, second question is what is the benefits of open source? Like, why should we contribute in it?
Right. So, when I create something, or when let's say, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'll create a product. Why I should give that product to you? Reason being, because I want to create a larger impact to the community. Secondly, when I'll be giving it to you, you will be seeing the product in a different way. Let's say if I am thirsty right now, I have this water bottle, I pick it up and I had the water. But if I'll give the same water bottle to you, you will be thinking in a very different way. And you will be saying like, should I have it or not? Is it something which Gaurav sir has already used it or not? Is it secure to pay, like drink or not? Right? There will be a lot of questions, and we as a people wants to like understand the perspective of the entire community. And when I say entire community, that means globally. So you create a code, you give it to me, I'll give it to my friend, and we all are going to comment on that. My security will get improved. My bugs, which are little things that I misplaced, might be able to resolve. I'll be able to get some new fresh ideas. More importantly, I'll be able to help someone who is trying to resonate or trying to find the solution to that problem, right? And open source is, again, it's all about collaboration. So Akash is facing one problem and I have already faced it and I have a solution for it. Let's go ahead and solve it. So the most important part, or I should say, why one should contribute to open source is they are helping to build the community of people, the community of like the developers, community of the one who are looking for the solution to their problems. So yes.
Yeah, yes, sir. And sir, we have other question like what are the prerequisites of open source? Like how what technical skill one should have to contribute in open source?
Yes. So I would say, you don't require any skill sets. Reason being, I always say this part that one should understand why you want to contribute to the open source first. First of all, understand that thing. Reason why I'm saying 90% people think that contributing to open source can only be done with the help of coding. You learn the code and you start contributing to it. But I'll give you a very basic example. Let's say, Akash, you are solving a problem, you get stuck. You have your laptop, you have your internet connection. What you will do?
Okay, sir, I will search on Google first.
Definitely, you will search on Google. You will land up into a link, and that link will give you that solution. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, answer me or try to understand. Now, you visited a link. Is that link going to speak for you?
Sorry, no, sir. No.
It is. You will be shown some metrics, or you will display some page which you are going to read.
Yes, sir.
So, for writing something, do you require like coding skills?
No.
So, one of the way is the documentation. That if you know how to document something, you can also do the contribution. So if your question is typically how we can contribute or what are the prerequisites to contribute, if you can help me in displaying the screen. First of all, understand everyone what are the different roles that you can contribute to the open source. Now, if you ask me, very first example which I just gave, documentation is the one way. So for documentation, I don't think that you require any technical knowledge, or I should say, not technically. Yes, you should be fine with the technical stuff, but also you need to good in your regional languages or English. You can help to design that content. You can help to create a nice website of it. You can help me in researching it. Like, I know something, you come and join my project, and automatically you can help me to contribute. Or even if you don't know any technical part, at least you can be the voice for me, where you can help to spread the words. And that is one of the also contribution to the open source world, because you are taking the words to the community. Otherwise, these are always this side particular where I'm just saying, like, talking about coding or creating a project, or contribute to the existing project, create your own project, or else the best part is contributing or by creating a open source version of an commercial project. That is also available. So it totally depends what type of contributions you want to do. Now, if you ask me honestly that, hey Gaurav, what do you think? What would be the prerequisite? The most important prerequisite for anyone is to, if you think on a sort of a roadmap, First, go ahead and learn Git, version control system. The most important part, learn about Git. Parallelly, get yourself acquired with the knowledge of one language. And I would say that take the example of Python or Go, which is quite popular nowadays. Learn Python. Very easy to learn, and I guess everybody can easily learn it. So go ahead and learn Python. DSA, which your college teaches, is absolutely good. Means the basics of DSA should be clear to everyone. So these three are always the prerequisite to get started. Now, if you don't know about, let's say, talking about, hey, Gaurav, I'm not comfortable in handling the Python. What I should do? No problem at all. No problem. Learn any language. You talk about HTML, you talk about JavaScript, you talk about Node.js, you talk about React, you talk about anything, no issues, but learn at least one language, and then start searching or start hunting for some of the open source projects where you can easily like clear the bugs. And to help you, let me share the screen back, and I can give you the link where you can get started. Akash, can you please help me in displaying the screen? Okay, thank you so much. So these two websites I highly recommend to everyone. Go ahead and visit upforgrabs.net and issueshub.io. Trust me, these two websites can easily help you to understand some of the beginners issues. Means you don't know that how I should code and how I should get started with. No problem. You take these websites, some ready-made projects are available. They will give you the right documentation guidelines that, hey, if you are comfortable in HTML, if you are comfortable in CSS, JavaScript, React Native, uh, Python, C, Java, Spring Boot, Quarkus, what do you want to do? Just go ahead, identify your skill set, and get started with it. And once you are comfortable, I would suggest these websites also, like Awesome for Beginners, Up for Grabs, Issues Hub. I have already talked about the first timers only, Good First Issues, or Code Triage is there, or 24 pull request. These all websites are very good in terms of like getting started with the code contribution. Yes, but before that, if you want to make the code contribution, you need to understand that am I capable of coding or not. Make yourself good. If you are having a good understanding, go ahead with it. Secondly, don't be afraid if you are the person like me who don't love coding. No problem. There are a lot more things that I just talked about. Talking about documentation, talking about design, talking about being the advocate for any project. Spread the words. These things are always available for anyone. For anyone. So I hope that helps, Akash, for you.
Yes, sir, it was really nice, and I think everyone got it. So, sir, GitHub and Git is like synonyms of open source. So, can you just give some light on it? These things.
So if you ask me, let me put it in this way, and I'll explain you the complete story. Who invented Git?
I think it was Linus, someone Linus Torn. I think I'm forgetting him. There was
Yes, yes,
some
you are
Linus.
getting the name correct. It was Linus Torvald. So who created Git? What was the other contribution from Linus Torvald?
So I think currently they are giving contribution to everything almost like
No, no. So
in
Git is
other.
there.
Yeah,
The major
yeah,
contribution coming from Linus Torvald was Linux operating system itself,
yeah, yeah.
the kernel of Linux, because Linux is not an operating system. Linux is the kernel. Okay, just like for us, the brain is the everything, the epicenter of everything. Similar way in Linux, kernel is something that everybody does. Now, if you ask me honestly, why do you think that Linux Torvald, when he created Linux, gave it to the public, why he would be requiring any version control system? Very, very easy to understand. You and me have all created these college projects. What we generally do, we open up our laptop, create a drive, college project, and let's say we create a text file. Now we started adding into the data inside it. I created on day one, but second day I realized I missed something. Let me try to add something new. What I'll do, I'll create, let's say first I created Akash. Now it's Akash underscore one. I added. Second day, your teacher told you that, Akash, Gaurav is also going to join you in the project. Please share the data and he'll also help you in completing the project fast. Gaurav joins you. Now, what you did? You shared this drive and you said, Gaurav, will collaboratively, I have done this thing. You go through it, and if you feel change, you change it up and create a new file. But Gaurav was quite mischievous. Gaurav, what he did, he went to Akash and Akash underscore one. He saw that in Akash, there was something which was missing. He went on and changed some of the file. He created another copy of Akash by the name of Gaurav. So the teacher can see that Gaurav has done something. But Akash has already done some work, but he didn't like that. Okay, I want to take the credit. And I guess this is a common scenario with everyone. Now, you and Gaurav were sitting together and you identify that, we have missed this point and we have missed that point. You both sit and you created another Akash Gaurav underscore final.txt. Okay, you created both the files. Now, before submitting it to the teacher, you took a review of third person. Let's say Ankit. Now, Ankit, Gaurav, and Akash, Ankit gave a feedback to you both that, Gaurav and Akash, this is something which is also missing in the code. Modify it. Then what you did, which was final.txt, now you create final underscore one.txt. You created another file. You submitted it to the teacher. Now, teacher want to understand what was the progress, that how you land up this code. What you will say? First of all, Akash created one file, then Akash underscore one created, then Gaurav came in, Gaurav copied the Akash file, then Gaurav created Gaurav file, then Gaurav and Akash sat together, they did this, and something removed, something happened, and XYZ, and then we finally created final, then we reached out to Ankit told. Don't you think it is confusing? Yes or no? Exactly the same thing was happening with Linux Torvald. Linux Torvald gave it to the people, the kernel source code, and everyone was started doing the contribution. And now when I have given you the freedom, you can also download the same code and you can push the changes, which was technically incorrect. Reason being, I have created a major project and you are trying to solve a problem. You solve the problem and you upload your data. Might that might have solved your problem, not mine. So automatically, which was running something which was running fine for me, like mistakenly, intentionally or unintentionally, it has completely ruined my system, and that becomes again a big threat to me. And who pushed that? Nobody knows it. So that was the major reason we started developing about version control system. And that's where Linux Torvald came out, that you don't copy the master branch or you don't merge your things into the master branch. You create your own. I have given you the freedom. You create your own. You submit that pull request to me. Once you have submitted, I'll review that, is this code valid? Once I valid, I have a right, the admin, the teacher has the right that I'll merge it. And once I'll merge it, it will be available to all the people. Now, others just need to pull that change. They need not to download the entire file onto their machine, right? And that how I guess the version control system becomes the most important part. And there are others version control system as well available, like CVS is there, Apache subversions are there, Mercurial, Bazaar, Monotone, many other things are available. So it totally depends on one how you want to do it. I hope that makes the things pretty much clear.
Yes, sir, definitely. So, sir, there are confusion that which one should we opt? Like there are internship we can give time there, and here we have open source. So, if what will be our like a selection between these two, or we have to do both?
Now that's a very tricky question. Now, if you ask me, Akash, honestly, it totally depends on one. That what do you want to do? If your objective is to earn money, then whatever I'll tell you, you will do that. Or if you want a better uplift, you want to learn something, I guess networking in the open source world is something that can give you the net worth you wouldn't have imagined for. Saying There are a lot of like open source programs are which are available. Like one of the example is, let me talk about let's say Google Summer of Code. Does everyone get the chance to receive the what I should say, the opportunity to work at Google Summer of Code? No, everybody cannot get select, right? And that's not an hidden truth. Everybody cannot get a chance to participate in open source programs like Google Summer of Code. People, there will be few limited set of people who will get select. Half of the people apply for the Google Summer of Code only to get the money. I guess if I'm not wrong, there is something like 3 lakh rupees or somewhere is the amount which you get. That's the problem. If you would see that there are a lot of projects which are available, whether I get select or not, but I'll still contribute. I guess that's the most important part. And there are a lot of n number of open source contests which are running apart from Google Summer of Code, and everyone should try to contribute your code to these programs. Why I'm saying this is, money is anyway is you can earn from anywhere. It's not about typically just participating in Google Summer of Code or participating in any open source program. No, participate with an intention to uplift yourself, to learn something new, to network with people. There are like hackathons. I love to be the part of hackathon as a judge or as a audience. Reason being, you can hear the ideas, and that's the most important part. I love to hear the ideas of people. And I guess if you can display my screen, Akash, you can easily see a lot of programs that I have listed, and number of programs going across the world every single day, talking about Google Summer of Code, talking about outreach for the girls, or if you talk about Ruby Google Summer of Code, talking about Red Hat open source contest, Girl Script Summer of Code, everything is running. Linux Foundation is there, Julia Summer of Code is there. Many of them might have stopped, but majority of them are still running. And that's where it gives you a flexibility to learn yourself, to uplift yourself. Don't start creating your GitHub profile just 2 to 3 minutes 2 to 3 months back before when the application for Google Summer of Code gets open up. No, you should start applying you should start creating your profile right now. Post 2 years, just go ahead and apply, and you won't regret that I didn't get select. People just apply. Once they get the rejection, they simply see, no man, it's not my cup of tea and I'm not going to do it. Internship, definitely I highly recommend. You all can do it, but it is not a mandatory condition for everyone. You should not be having a mandatory that, hey, I'll do the internship, I'll only do the internship. No, it's absolutely not required. It's fine even if you don't have the internship, you can still get a good job, but make sure that you have a very good presence of yourself in the open source space as well. So I prefer choosing open source over internship. Do contribution, do the source code contribution, participate in the forums, spread your word, spread about yourself, maintain your GitHub profile, maintain your social network like LinkedIn or Twitter. Just don't go and send the request. Send with a personalized message so that somebody can understand who is trying to connect with you. Right. So that's my take, Akash, if you ask me. Or if you
Yeah,
want something, I can add to it.
cool, sir. And we have, sir, one more question, like how you personally started when I think you started pass out in college in 2017. So I think that time there were no so much hype about open source and all. And what are the challenges you faced and what one will face as a beginner? So give us some.
Akash, you are very blessed that you are into the NIT. In 2012, when I was starting my college journey, I'm from Rajasthan, and I got selected in this Bikaner Government College of Engineering and Technology. And in first semester, I understood that coding is not my cup of tea. And what I did was, like, in first semester I got a backlog in C, and right from there I started hated coding. Might I didn't get the right mentor at that time who could have helped me, but at the same time, I found a good mentor who helped me in understanding Linux. So in 2013, after exploring all the codings, like I did C, C sharp, I did what we used to say, .NET. Yes, .NET. I tried many things, but at the end of the day, I understood that no, coding is not my cup of tea. So in first semester, I attended this workshop of this hacking, ethical hacking. And I started learning about ethical hacking. And one day, while I was doing some software cracking, I understand that this tools that we are using can only last for a couple of days, month, or years. But if you want to be a sustainable person, you need to understand one thing, that you need to know the basics. You need to make your fundamental strongs. And one day I was sitting with my mentor, and I was doing some software crack, and I stuck at the command like which was saying fdisk. So fdisk is a command in Linux to basically create the partition. And I curiously asked that, hey, I want to know what is this fdisk means to me. You have just given me the command and I'm executing, but I want to know more about it. And that's where he said me that, if you find it interesting, you should learn Linux. And in 2013, I started learning Linux. And as you said, yes, at 2012, 13, if you ask a tier 3 college person that why you are learning about Linux, why you are developing your cloud, or learning about DevOps, or talking about this automation, Hadoop, nobody would have like kept your faith on. And definitely even my roommates were not owning me that, Gaurav, you are doing something wrong. It is not going to work well for you in the future. In 2016, we all got graduated. Everybody was doing a job, and I was jobless after having good amount of Linux knowledge. I was certified. I was doing the cloud computing. I was everywhere in the college, but yet I was not having any placement. But I was still having a belief that one day I'll do something which gonna satisfy me. And in 2017, I land up with the job at RedHat as a training and development instructor. Now, that 1 year made me more stronger. Reason, I started learning on my own, this self exploration. I used to take down the books which I have just used to clear the exams, but I started learning every single command with a question mark in my head, that if something is going to type cd, what is happening in background, how this command is working. Because that might be the story of other side also, right? When you are teaching somebody, you should also have a question mark in your head that if I'm teaching this, somebody would have asked me this, how I'm going to revert. So I started discovering that. And during the interview process, this thing helped me, because I was knowing what type of approach you are trying to ask me. So 1 year, like you say, no, that sharpen your X. So I was sharpening up my knife, that one day when my knife will be sharp, I'll be able to cut it. And I'm glad that in 2017 I got my like Red Hat as my company. And till then, in 4.5 years, I'm with Red Hat. I love Red Hat. And yes, I'm there. But definitely there were a lot of challenges. People underestimates you when you're trying to do something outside the league. People will always question. And anyway, even if you don't know, people will always question it. So I never minded it. My family supported, and rest is I'm happy. And even if you ask me, Akash, you know, you should also ask your question: why you are coding? Why do you want to do the code? Why you want to learn the DSA? Is there any specific thing that you want to highlight? That why you want to learn any specific coding language? Why you want to try DSA? Why you want these internship? Why you should contribute to open source? If you have these questions, I believe your life will be way simpler, right? People are also earning well who don't know about coding. People are also earning well who don't know a bit of DSA, like me. Or people who hate coding like anything can still create the wonder. It totally depends what you do. You love it. That's all. Challenges will be always there. Challenges will be always there. And nowhere and no job cannot give you 100% that, whatever you do, you will love it. No. And trust me, this colleges and a BTech, especially a person who enters in the first semester, everybody has this flow, because they reach to the reception, and behind the reception there is a huge board which says the students which are placed. Now the top person, the first ranked person is always placed in Google, Microsoft, or typically people nowadays call FANG, and the person is having a package of 1 cr 2 cr. You get into the college and you start thinking that, one day I'll be also there, my name will be also engraved in this board, and you automatically started building a pressure that, I'll learn coding because that's the only way to get success, because your success is now that limited to this board only, nothing beyond that. So I was lucky that my college were not used to have the placement in those days. So I could think freely that I want to create a history in my way. I want to be the better version of myself every single day. I don't want to compete with someone. So when my college, my batchmates used to ask me that, Gaurav, what you are going to do? Man, nothing. But what I'll do great. And even you will also. I always used to say to my friend that, whatever you will do, whatever I'll do, we all will do great. We'll all be good. We'll all create history. That's not a hidden truth. So I have always believed in that saying, and yes, I'm enjoying what I do. And that made me remembering of one quote by Jimmy Din. Jimmy Din once said that I cannot change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust the sails to always reach my destination. So all these people who are typically forcing yourself to the coding or having a target that I just want to work in FANG and that is the success criteria, don't worry. You might be a different individual. You must be having a different goals in your life. Try to achieve them. So just adjust that sail that can make you reach your destination. Don't try to be the part of crowd. Stand apart. So yeah. So I hope that answer your
Okay.
question, Akash.
Yeah, it was really inspirational, sir, the way you told your past journeys. So, sir, one another question is like people are running behind DSA these days, and we have competitive programmings, and they have stars on coding sites. So, as you have experience in industry for many years, so how do you see like who has given a lot of contribution in open source and have some good knowledge in it, or one who has good stars in some lead code and CFG and everywhere? So, which is valued more in industry, like these stars and or this contribution in open source when you land
Contribution.
a job?
100% contribution, Akash. Means, I also take couple of interviews. I never ever see the resume. I just simply ask student, tell me about something about yourself. Don't mention about this code chef, lead code, or XYZ. I don't want it. People have started putting a pressure, unnecessary pressure on yourself that I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll be 5-star coder. What after? Why you want a 5-star on your GitHub profile? Why you want a 5-star on your like hacker earth, hacker rank, or lead code? Why? Give me a reason why. If I ask you, Akash, why do you think that the other side of table will be seeing you that, if you have a 5-star lead code, then only you are success? Why? Give me this reason why. No reason is there because you have seen somebody who.
They like
Yes, yes. Please tell me.
yeah, so they things like they have proof of solving 1000 DSA questions, and also it's kind of proof.
So you say if you have a 5-star rating, you have a proof that I have solved thousands of problems. On the other side, I'll give you a GitHub profile where I have 1,000 plus valid contribution. What do you think? What is going to create an impact?
Obviously, sir, contribution, because it is something
Yes.
real, like you have done something. Yeah.
Yes. And I always used to wonder that when a company is going to hire me, are they also going to make me work for the star patterns that we learn in our college? Are they also going to give me that, Gaurav, please solve this problem and you are hacker at 5-star rated person. Can you please create a star pattern for me? Absolutely no. I have my legacy software. I want you to solve that problem. And solving problems always come with the bad experiences when you have solved the problems. Lead code or code chef, they have some of the pre-created problems, but real world is completely different. So I would say don't run behind these stars, run behind the contribution. and the job will end up reaching you. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, some more question like how to manage time. We have lot of things to do, like DSA, which is kind of major things to do. Like no one can ignore it. Everyone has to get placement and all. So how to manage time with these development things and DSA part?
Okay. Time management, very important topic. I always used to wonder that how I'll be able to manage the time well, or I should say why I need to manage the time. I want to accomplish some of my goals. And recently, I guess this particular dialogue is very much famous from the trailer of Kota Factory 2, and I got that answer in just one line, that don't run behind your dreams, set your goals and achieve it. Right. So basically, when you talk about time management, I always say start small. Don't fix up or don't limit your mind that today I'll stand up from this chair when I'll solve the 5 questions. No, even if you have solved one question, you should be happy. Start small. The very first topic for like absolutely doing the time management is start small. Do some small tasks. Don't take up a big challenge in front of you that you're not able to accomplish, and that's the reason you start complaining about. So start small, take some small goals. Second, have a compiling vision. And when I say have a compiling vision, means set something which is realistic. You should know how you want to learn the alphabets A to Z. Now, when you want to go from A to Z, you need to have that stoppage of B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. If you don't know this path, it is not the compiling vision you have. You just mentioned that if you have solved the 1,000 problem, just as an example, you would get the 5-star rating. What if not? So when you have this roadmap in front of you, start small and then have a compiling vision. The third most important part, prime your brain. Set your priorities. Start learning the art of saying no. Many students I met, and they always have this question, sir, how you do all these things? You manage your YouTube, you manage your work, you manage your health and family and XYZ things. I always say, I always train my brain that fix up the time, that 2 hours a day I'll sit with my family, 6 hours a day I'll have my sleep. 6 plus 2, 24 everybody has, 8 is gone. Now I have 16 hours remaining. Out of these 16 hours, I'll be having 10 hours with my friends and everyone. Okay, in the mobile, in like having lunch or XYZ things. Done. Now I have 6 hours remaining. In this 6 hours, I need to be productive. Don't force our brain that just work for 6 hours. No problem. Just work for 4 hours, but these 4 hours need to be in front of your problems. Just take that up. Train your brain that in these 4 hours, no matter of what I'll do, what I have designed for me, I'll accomplish those small goals that I have set it for myself. In meantime, just keep your phone away. Don't try to just scroll the Instagram reels or watch the YouTube video. Never. If you want to, just set that time on your calendar that 5 to 6 I'll be speaking at the conference, and that time I'm not going to touch my WhatsApp, LinkedIn, or my Instagram notifications. I'll just stop them up. Planning plays a very important role. And then I guess start changing your habits. For doing the better time management, you need to change yourself first. When I want to be, because I have always seen that I personally, taking my example, I used to be very lazy, and that's where I was gaining a lot of weight. If I want to reduce the weight, you have to do something which you don't like. Like one of the example is, I love fast food, but on the other side, if I want to reduce the weight, I have to quit the fast food. So whatever things you don't like, ultimately, if you start doing it, it will help you to achieve the success. I have always believed in this thing, that start hearing it back. If you do the things that you don't love to do it, or you hate the things, start doing it. Automatically you will see the results coming positive, because that's where your ego gets challenged, that I have a challenge in front of me, I have to hit it. And once you start hitting it hard, I guess nobody is going to stop you. And the fifth and the most important part for making the time management, set realistic goal. And when I say realistic goal means today I'll say I'll do coding for 10 hours. Not possible, man. Don't do for 10 hours. Why you want to learn and spoil your like enjoying time with your friends and family? Just put 5 to 6 hours. That is fine. Start the learning art of saying no. You have to deny at certain point. Don't just keep on saying yes and the things will pile up on your table. No, you have to make it good. Now, if you start setting up your realistic goals that 1 hour live, 1 hour watching, 1 hour of study, 2 hours with family, 3 hours with friends, 4 hours just to have the sleep, everything will start working well for you. Everything will start working well for you. And most of the time people whatever they say, they don't believe it. So I first of all have tried these things that I always start small. I have picked up my small goals for the day. I'll do it. I have a vision that okay, if I'm going to achieve it, I where I'll be landing it. I ask my brain, Gaurav's brain, you have to make it possible. I don't want any excuse in between. Akash has asked the time for 5 to 6. Yes, the time is his. You need not to bring on the unnecessary notification in between. Then I have a schedule plan that okay, 6 o'clock, Akash will be done. But again, take the buffer of 5 to 10 minutes. I cannot commit anything which is at 6 o'clock. Might the 6 o'clock meeting get extended to 10-15 minutes? You need to make that realistic goals. Okay, the next task for me today will get started by 6:15. Now this 15 is my buffer, and in this 15 I can train my brain to do the next thing. And automatically at 6:30 or 6:15 my brain will start saying, Gaurav, you have to jump onto another thing, and you have the entire thing planned, and automatically everything will fall in place. So that's the most important part. I hope Akash, though it was a bit lengthy explanation, but I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah, obviously, sir. So, sir, now we have some question from students, and these are like how to get selected in Google Summer of Code and Outreach, how to make a good PR that can be accepted.
So now follow some of the open source etiquettes. Means when I say open source etiquettes, don't just like 2 to 3 months first think that don't do it in your practice. Is that when the open source application gets start, means let's say if it is in the March which the Google Summer of Code application is going to get open, don't start in January, start year back. If you are a first year student, don't be hesitant in accepting the fact that in second year I'll get select. 1 year, work on the projects, analyze the site that what kind of projects people are talking about, what is the most demandable technology, or else just start talking about what is the least competition I can get in. Plan your state things that hey, this is what I know, this is what Google Summer of Code demands, and this is the easiest way to get selected. That's all. Then, if your question is how to make a good PR, now PR is PR, it is not good or bad. Nothing is, at least do it. At least make yourself time free. I showed you of some of the beginner friendly website like upforgrabs.net or issueshub.io, beginners issues. Many others are available. Just go and participate it. Try to interact with the ex Google Summer of Code participants. Go and make a healthy connection with the org admins. Go and start talking that I have this idea, can you please help me? Be empathetic, wait karo. Please wait for the right time, because open source is all about self support, or I should say I am doing it out of my own interest. So be empathetic and cooperative to the other person also, because they or might be also busy here and there, but 99% I have seen people revert back. Go and talk about your idea, that I have this idea, or even if I don't have, please suggest me a roadmap. Right, people will give you certain links, read it. Go and start search about the issues you are facing. If you are not able to answer, reach back to them that I have tried this, but I'm still not able to figure it out, can you help me? Because this is going to show you how much passionate you are, and automatically the things will start falling in place. Don't directly think of that my first PR will get merged in this project. Never ever. Just go and start solving the issues. The PR will anyways get merged, right? So I have even seen the people getting cracked for Google Summer of Code, not even having a single contribution to the open source. But their idea, their journey, they have a compiling vision, they have a right description to the question they have asked. They don't build the story, they believe in what they're saying. So that's the, I guess, for me, that worked for Google Summer of Code or Outreachy. Outreachy, anyways, for only for girls. So all the girls, most welcome. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, I think we have covered almost all the questions. So it was really nice listening to you, and I will tell every viewers that Gaurav sir has his own YouTube channel, Cheers with Gaurav. So you can go and follow him, and he posts regularly a good stuff, and you can also connect him on LinkedIn. So far, I have got so positive response. Like if you connect him with a purpose, then I think he will definitely reply. So yeah, over to you, sir.
So what I'll say, Akash, half of the LinkedIn, people just say you hello, I want an internship. Hello, I need a job. Can you help me? No, I don't revert in that way. You create your personal story. Why you want to connect to the Gaurav Sharma? If you didn't like something, just go and upfrontly say. But before that, you need to make a connection with him, right? So don't go and jump to any connection that, hey, I have heard that there is an internship opportunity. No, you tell about yourself first, that I'm Akash, I'm studying in NIT Agartala, and I'm a training placement head, and I'm driving this community contributions. Do you think that you would be interested in doing this or not? That's where I found the value, that okay, Akash has reached out to me with a certain objective and clear call to action. He is a training and placement coordinator, and he wants me to deliver a session. And now it's up to me how I accept it or not. But however, many students reach out to me, Gaurav sir, I need these resources. Gaurav, I need a job. Gaurav, I need an internship. That's all. I don't even know you. At least build that relation first. Start conversation, and then you can reach out, and that will help you. And so that's one idea. But second way, um, you know, your limitations. I always talk about this thing, and this is my favorite. Your limitation is only your imagination. So repeat after me. Your limitation is only your imagination. So if you think, you all the viewers, if you think that if your success criteria meets only getting placed in FANG, you are very low thinker person. Think about entrepreneurs. Think about people who have created history, how they have done it. They believed in their idea. Very basic example, Jeff Bezos. Who is Jeff Bezos?
Amazing CEO.
So, Amazon, when entered in India, they were not having cash on delivery model. They created specifically for India. McDonald's used to sell only non-veg burgers. But when McDonald's tried to enter in India, they didn't get the response they were getting abroad. They started creating an affordable burger which was having a twist of potatoes, because we Indians love potatoes. And then they created this cheap makalu tikki. And even I have traveled to many countries, I haven't seen makalu tikki anywhere. No, it is specially Indian created for the Indian market. Colgate, when entered the Indian market, they saw that nobody's using it, the paste form. Why? Our ancestor used to have those sticks from the trees, and they used to do that, or else they will use that powder to rub their teeth. You need to be innovative. So don't you think Jeff Bezos would be also having a mind that, hey, at that time, which company was good, I would have choose that? Yes, everybody engineer would have thought, but first of all, they believed in themselves. So I always say to this to all the viewers and all the people, your limitation is only your imagination. You imagine yourself doing the coding after 10 years, you will be doing it because your brain has got the answer. If you think that you can create the history in 10 years, yes, But be realistic, huh? Don't be like in 5 years I'll create this magic and all. No, 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 no. Just wait for the right time. Don't get jealous or don't get attracted to somebody else's success. They might be on their chapter 10, you might be starting your chapter. See your difference when you will be on your chapter 1 and you will be on your chapter 10. Don't see that Gaurav Sharma is doing a solution architect or Gaurav Sharma is presenting a talk. Might there will be a day when I'm hosting Akash for some reason. But you need to believe in yourself. And I have always believed in this then that happiness is not by chance, it is by choice. I want to be happy. It's not your decision. So be the change that you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi rightly said, right? Be the change that you wish to see in the world, and things will start working in that way. So I hope that you might be able to receive some of the question that you guys have posted me, or even if you are not, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm quite active on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I keep posting videos. Just Akash said, yes, go out and like it or listen to them if you feel. I do podcast with a lot of industry non-professionals. We keep on organizing some of the events, and reach out to me if you want that. Hey Gaurav, do you think that this event can also be the part, and I can like I'll be happy to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it was really nice, and I think I'm personally boosted up, and I think all the viewers have been. So it was, and I think you have been a part of our college, so we will try to invite you next time too with some great thoughts and topics.
Anytime. I'll
Yes,
be always happy, Akash. I'm just a message away. You already know me. So just reach out to me for the any way that I can be the help of. And for you and your entire team at Agartala and all the viewers, leaders never used to the word called failure. They look upon the setbacks and learning experiences. So even if you think that, you failed, make it as an opportunity for yourself, make it as a learning. If you had a bad experience, no worry, you had a good example of failures. Every great inventor, every great entrepreneur, every great leader has never ever used the word failure. They have said it was a bad experience. And bad experiences always lead you to the good experiences, a greater success. So, thank you so much, Akash and his entire team. I'll be always available for you. Please feel free to reach out to me. We can work on some other plan. And I'm glad and I'm honored to be the part of this session. Thank you so much.
thank you, sir, and thank you all the viewers. I think
Thank you.
let's end the end.